Hello everyone, welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. This is, I don't remember what episode 25? Is that it? Please tell me if I'm right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Alright, cool. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. I'm here with my co-host, Brendan.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Brendan.
We have a guest this week.
Is that my cue?
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
My name is Maria.
Alright, we got a cool show coming up. I mean, like, hopefully. I think I say that every week, and most of the time it doesn't turn out to be true. Anyway, first we got some music and movie news that we'll go over. Then we're going to be discussing the Margot and the Nuclear So-So's album, Not Animal. And then afterwards we're going to talk about the movie Bandits, directed by the guy who did Rain Man. I forget his name.
Barry Levinson.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. So, to start in music news, where is it? The Chicago rapper King Von has been shot to death. It's a pretty uplifting story, I must say. Yeah, we're starting off strong. And police have arrested a suspect in that. Just an unfortunate incident.
Big sad.
Yeah. Next, and we're just gonna move on from that really quickly.
Why'd you start that one?
We start off strong. You know.
Of course.
Next in music news, System of a Down have released their first songs in like 15 years.
Woo!
Yeah, they're good. I'd recommend them. Yeah. Also, the Foo Fighters are coming out with a new album. I have to put that in because I love them. But yeah. Next music news, Spotify is going to be offering royalties, they're going to boost artists' algorithm placement in exchange for reduced royalties on their music.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you have to say about this.
I feel like it's a bit scummy, but like I feel if this was like a flat rate or something that they were going by, I think that's fine. But since it's specifically royalties, that like if you do this and then your song blows up, you just got essentially scammed out of a fuck ton of money. So it's a pretty shitty thing.
Yeah. I like that they're giving artists like an option for maybe the possibility of gaining popularity. However, I think the idea of exchanging like services and the opportunities for popularity in exchange for royalties is just like a bad direction in general, because like artists are already making so little off of their money, and just taking away more and more just so that they even have the possibility of breaking through and gaining popularity is it can be rough, I think. And I think it can certainly maybe go in a direction where Spotify just takes more royalties and is like, hey, but we're making your music more popular. But it's like, I didn't ask for that, so we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely. Again, I think if this was just like a service or something, where you could literally just pay a flat rate, I think this would be like all right. But like it just like to me this just appears like something that'll get someone screwed out of a bunch of money that they deserve. So
yeah.
Yeah. Next in music news, the Grammys, in their infinite wisdom, renamed. They renamed the Best World Music category to Best Global Music Album.
Oh my god, it's such a huge...
Because of quote-unquote connotations of colonialism.
Really... Making waves, Grammys.
It'd be really nice if they just, fixed the problems with the awards instead of just renaming them.
No.
Not changing anything about them.
Why would you ever do that when you can just rename problematic names to other problematic names?
Yeah. It's not good. I guess we'll move on to movie news. This doesn't really count as movie news. I kind of just wanted to mention it. But unfortunately, Alex Trebek has passed away of cancer, which is pretty unfortunate. He do the Jeopardy.
He's brought hours of entertainment to millions.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss you, Alex.
Yeah. Next in movie news, oh boy. What a scandal. Johnny Depp has been fired from Fantastic Beasts, or the Fantastic Beasts franchise, due to the abuse allegations that have been levied against him. The situation's super complicated, so I don't really want to comment on whether or not he actually did what is claimed, because there's so much to look into this case. But yeah,
he's had abuse allegations in the past though, so that's what makes this a little fishy, you know what I mean?
So what happened is the abuse allegations came out against him, and eventually Johnny Depp sued, specifically The Sun, I think is the website he sued, for I think slander. I don't remember specifically what it was.
Yeah, it says here that they labeled him a wife beater.
Yes. And then there was a court case that happened, and the judge sided with Amber Heard and The Sun, but also there's a bunch of there's a bunch of layers to this case, because I think supposedly the judge who ruled on it has connections with Amber Heard or something, so it's all sorts of messed up as a case. But yeah.
Retro.
Oof. And finally, in movie news, Tenet. It's getting a home release now. It's coming to Blu-ray, 4K, and DVD before Christmas.
Just the perfect gift for anybody.
Yeah, Tenet was kind of the, I guess test movie to see if the theaters could reopen, and it didn't do super well, at least compared to Nolan's other films. I think it only made $350 million or something, which is still a fuck ton of money, but
yeah,
that's still a lot given that we're in a pandemic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty wild, actually. People actually went and saw this movie in theaters.
It is I'm honestly surprised it was that much.
Yeah,
me too.
I figured it would barely get I figured it would struggle to get $100 million, but yeah.
How do you guys think movie theaters are hanging in there right now? Do you think some big franchises are gonna close?
AMC said that they were going to close. But
yeah.
See what happened with Tenet before they officially closed, and Tenet did decently. So
AMC had been reporting that they weren't gonna make it to the end of the year, possibly.
I don't know.
What?
Well, like the corporations, the movie theater like corporations would die, and that would see like more independent theaters probably, which would be.
Well, it depends on.
It depends upon a lot.
If and it depends because I feel like another company might just come in and buy up movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
There could totally be a situation where like Disney comes in and is like, let's buy movie theaters and then only show Disney movies in these movie theaters, or something.
Interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. I'm kind of surprised they actually decided to release it on Blu-ray so quickly and didn't just like keep pushing it in theaters to get people to go. But yeah. Yeah, and that's it for the movie news and the music news. Which means we're moving on to the Margot and the Nuclear So-So's album, Not Animal.
Do we listen to the whole album?
No, we just talk about the album.
Oh,
we don't do like a live listening or anything.
Okay.
I thought you had listened to the podcast episode.
I'm sorry. I fell asleep at the end.
Okay. This is like 10 minutes in.
You guys talk for a long time.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we talk about the news for like half an hour.
I liked your
off topic.
Halloween spooky albums.
Thank you.
One. That one was really good. That's my go-to.
Anyways, this album. You, Maria, are the one who chose this album. You wanna talk about why?
I kind of picked both the album and the movie because they come from the heart, I guess. Also, based on like what I know that you guys listen to and stuff, this album's like a little bit out there. Like as you can tell from like the names of the songs, they're pretty intriguing. There's one called Hello Vagina. And I feel like that's kind of like up you guys' alley and stuff. And it would be kind of cool to like talk about like maybe what the songs mean or something. Just something, because it's a really small band. I don't think many people know them. And because of that, like I think why not? Give them a little attention. I think it's really beautiful music. And someone that was important to me really liked this band. So here we go.
Okay. Cool. Good reasoning.
Thanks. Can we
so
play one of the songs? Are we allowed to do that?
I'm pretty sure we usually get copyright striked.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I think we can play like 10 seconds before getting copyright struck. So.
Okay. That's okay.
We try not to. There's one episode that's lost to time because of copyright strike.
No.
Oh yeah.
And it's okay. I'm okay with that one.
Yeah. But yeah.
What was his favorite song on the album?
Oh,
Joey, go first.
Wait, do I go first?
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
He's like, shoot,
I think
they all sound like.
I'm looking through my notes. I think.
You took notes on each song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Did you take notes?
No, I didn't take notes.
Oh, interesting.
Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
One of us did our homework. I see.
Listen, I listen to the album.
Like
I make mental notes. Okay.
I'd say, I think my favorite is probably As Tall as Cliffs.
Oh, I like that one.
It has a very folky sound. It feels very like, it has a very like melancholic feel to it. Especially the hook that I really like. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I don't have like a ton to say about the album overall. I have to say, I will admit.
We'll
That's
keep
alright.
talking. We'll see what happens. I'll talk about my favorite song next.
It's okay if you didn't like it. No hard feelings, Joe. We're still buds.
My favorite song is easily the opener, A Children's Crusade on Acid. I want to say I listened to there's two kind of sister albums. There's Animal and Not Animal. Mostly because the band Margot and the Nuclear So and So's had disputes with the label, so they created two versions. One, Not Animal, is the one that the label wanted to put out, and the other one, Animal, is the one that the band wanted to put out. I listened to Animal first, and then I listened to Not Animal. And there's a couple of songs that are on each album. I think Children's Crusade on Acid,
Broad
German
Ripple.
Motor Car. I don't actually think Broad Ripple's on the other album.
Oh no, it's not. Oh, that's why I picked this album because I like that one.
'Cause you like Broad
Because I
Ripple?
really like
Okay.
that song.
I think Hello Vagina's on both, so got that one.
That's the one we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a Children's Crusade on Acid, I want to say, like when I first heard it, the kind of like lo-fi, like almost psychedelic vibe that the track has going, I think it's really cool. I think it's one of the more interesting sounding songs off of the album, off of both albums, I should say. And because of that, I really enjoy it.
Which album do you like more? Animal
of
or
the
Not
two?
Animal?
They're both they're pretty similar. I'm gonna be honest. I think Not Animal is a bit more. It has some of the more like hit power, I guess.
Okay. All right. Did you think that's why the label preferred that one?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
definitely think so.
Because knowing Richard Edwards, he's like he really doesn't go by the grain. He very much like is his own thing and doesn't really care that he doesn't follow what everyone else does. So I think that's why the fact that the label was like, yeah, this one would probably sell more. He probably was like, actually then, no, I want to, fuck that. Like, I want to do my own thing. And I think that's really cool. He is like, I think Margot and the Nuclear So-and-So split, and he's like his own thing now. Like, if you look up Richard Edwards, like, you can see he has his own albums and stuff. They're good too.
Cool. What was your favorite?
My favorite song?
Yeah, you asked us.
That's true. I did. I do love Broad Ripple. I think if you look at the lyrics, they're pretty dark. They're very dark. But I think they have a lot of emotion behind them. I know, like, when I hear it, I get a little emotional myself just because there's so much going on. Hello Vagina is always a favorite. I always kind of, like, giggle when I hear the name because it's so funny. But each song has just so much, like, it has a story behind it. It's all pretty dark, but you can't help but, like, kind of think, like, what his mindset was when writing each song, you know? He must have been going through, like, a lot of pain, and he carries that. You can feel it in his music.
Yeah, I do want to point out this atmosphere, the atmosphere of this album, it tends to be kind of dark and gloomy, and I think that works quite well in the album's favor, and the more consistent theming throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely do agree that kind of works for the album. I think that to me this album feels like kind of a mash-up of like different artists, if that makes sense. Like it's very much an indie record, and I'm not the biggest indie guy. But like there's definitely his vocals remind me a lot of like I forget his name, but the vocalist for Death Cab for Cutie. Brendan Zierke. There you go.
I got it.
Then like definitely there's like some tracks that kind of reminded me a little bit of Radiohead. That might just be because I hear it and everything. Yeah. Definitely. I think for me, I have to say, like, probably my least favorite aspect of the album are the vocals. I just think that a lot of the times the instrumentation becomes very stripped back, which kind of lets you, like, linger on the vocals, but I don't find them very strong or compelling, personally. And I think that leads me to becoming somewhat bored of the material. And I think, like, that's kind of the thing with just folk music in general, is when the song becomes stripped back, you're so focused on the vocals that if they don't work for you, then the song doesn't really work. And I think that happens in some tracks. a lot of like the openings of tracks will be very I guess instrumentation light until as he like slowly adds more instruments throughout the track. And I think a lot of the time those builds are very compelling and interesting, but also I just find the starts of those tracks to be very slow to get to those builds personally.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. I think Richard Edwards, Richard Edwards,
Mm-hmm.
his lyricism, I quite enjoy it. However, the actual delivery of those lyrics, he does sound a bit generic, I think.
Yeah. That's okay. I respect that.
I think that's actually probably why I like Tallest Cliffs a lot, because it feels like he brings a lot more personality to that track specifically with his vocals. He's a much more odd kind of vocal delivery on that track than some of the others. I think that works for it.
I don't know what he was going through at the time of writing it, but his general personality is he's gone through a lot of depression and has faced a lot of turmoil in his life. So part of me is thinking the reason why he has such slow delivery in his music and how he sings is so melancholy is because that's the emotion he's carrying. I don't think he has it in him to be able to give his all. He's putting his emotions in song form, and it's the best he can do. That's why I don't know. I think that's why Tallest Cliffs is probably the most fun song that he has, the most upbeat maybe. And then the rest is very much just reflections of probably how he feels every day, which is just probably not too great. Poor guy.
Brendan, do you have...
Oh, do I have something to say?
I was waiting for you to jump in.
Yeah, give us some of those mental notes.
Some mental notes? Oh. I mean, I don't know. I think we've touched on a lot of, I'd say, the core aspects of this album. I don't know. There's a couple tracks here that I think are more well done than others, but there's kind of a fine line, I feel, between not enough on this album and actually hitting the right amount. Like I said earlier, Children's Crusade on Acid, I really enjoy the instrumentation on that track. There's some other tracks here, like Broad Ripple is Burning, which is by far the band's most popular song ever. I enjoy that track a little bit. It's kind of, I like the...
It's depressing.
It's depressing. It's catchy, though. It's probably one of the more catchy songs off the album. I do like Hello Vagina. I think it's a good track.
How do you think you say it?
Hello Vagina?
Do you hello vagina? Or hello vagina? How do you think
I'm just thinking...
How do you think his tone was when he wrote that?
It's Sounds of Silence.
Yes.
It's like, hello vagina, my old friend.
I didn't know you were so friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Is there any thing that you want to highlight from the album that we haven't touched on yet? Because you seem pretty passionate about it.
I don't know. To be honest, I really wasn't sure what album that I was gonna pick for you guys. But this one just felt right. I'm sorry you didn't click with it. Next time I'll pick a Radiohead album.
Please.
So this is a Radiohead album called Pablo Honey, okay? And
oh my god, yes. It's
album ever.
The greatest album ever made, yeah.
Because it has a song on it called Creep, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone knows that song.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's it? That's the only reason.
Yeah, no,
The
Creep,
rest of the songs are forgettable?
I could not...
I can't remember...
off the album.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your favorite song, Joe? Creep? Really?
Oh, Creep? No, actually, no.
That sounds pretty
Stop.
sick.
We're being sarcastic. Pablo Honey, It's it's up there, but it's not the best.
Okay.
Ever. Maybe, it's debatable, I'd say.
Maybe top 5.
Top 5.
All right. What's the best one then?
That's a tough question.
Wait, the best Radiohead album?
Yes, Joe.
Oh, it's OK Computer. It's OK Computer. Don't let Brendan lie to you.
No, it's the
Okay.
King of Limbs.
No. Okay, no, please don't.
Wait, can we listen to that after this?
The King of Limbs? Yeah.
No, I want to
Don't. Don't listen to King of Limbs. I mean, like, listen to it. It's good. It's just not even close to being their best.
No, it's not close. Yeah, okay. Margot and then
All right.
your so-and-sos.
Oh, you're gonna get rating?
Yeah, you
Huh.
guys
Yeah.
give it a score 0 to 10.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to, but, like,
You don't have to, but we're gonna pressure you in.
if you want to be in the club, like...
Yeah, okay. I'll go first. This album, I don't mind this album. Like, there's a couple songs here that are pretty good, but there's quite, I'd say probably like a half to like 2/3 of it is kind of in one ear and out the other for the most part. But like I said, there's a couple tracks here, like A Children's Crusade on Acid. I do really enjoy that track, and I'll definitely keep going back to it. So I don't know. I'm at like a 6.5 on this album.
I feel like that's being nice.
No, that's fair. Like, this is kind of my thing. Like, if you were to play this album for me, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's decent.
I guess for me personally, I think this album's kind of inconsistent. I do like...
What?
I can see you.
What?
Where were you? What? Alright. This album for me personally, I'm not a big indie guy in general. Like, personally, I think this album is just kind of inconsistent. You have... I guess on the one hand, I do really like the kind of dark atmosphere that the album builds, and I do also appreciate how the album has there's a consistent like build throughout all the songs. They constantly just add instrumentation and stuff, but I'm not that big on the vocals, and I think sometimes when the instrumentation isn't there, it's very sparse, or the vocals don't really carry that. Those parts. I think I'm at like a 6. It's 5 to a 6.
Okay.
It's decent. It's not something I'm probably gonna go back to, but it's worth checking out. Yeah.
I feel like you guys are just being nice. I feel like Joe's being nice.
No.
5 to a 6. I don't know.
That I expected that. I predicted on the lower end of a 5.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I get that.
Aww.
I think this album definitely has some qualities that make it a bit more unique than a lot of indie projects, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you guys don't think it's a dumpster fire. I like this album. I don't listen to it much because it makes me sad. I don't want to be sad all the time. So I'd honestly give it like a 7 maybe. Yeah, like a 6.5, 7. I don't listen to this album frequently, but sometimes when I want to like kind of like be in my feels and stuff, maybe reminisce a little, I'll listen to it.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Margot, and the Nuclear So-and-Sos.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you came up with that band name?
Oh, I looked this up.
Whoa.
I forgot.
Wow.
I'm sorry. We can look it up real quick.
No, that's the entire thing. Moving on to Bandits.
Yeah. Yeah, we watched a film for the podcast called Bandits.
Yeah.
What did everyone think of Bandits?
Bruce Willis has hair.
Yeah, he does.
know.
Oh man. Ooh. No.
We need to like just take a moment. Why, like, is Bruce Willis considered hot? Like, he literally like looks at women and they become like wet instantly. Like, that's literally what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so weird, especially.
Yeah, he's right. He always plays characters where that happens. Like Bruce Willis is like the hot guy in movies.
No.
I feel like that sort of makes sense if it's like, you know, like 80s Bruce Willis and like Die Hard.
Yeah.
Like I can get it sort of. He's like 40 in this movie. Like at this point in his career he's 40. It's really weird.
A DILF.
I don't know, like he's not unattractive, but he's not drop dead gorgeous or anything.
Especially he has like a ponytail and it's just it does not work.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So who do you think's cuter, Joe? Billy Bob Thornton or Bruce Willis?
In terms of cuteness, it's
because there's like clearly like a type in the movie. They both like represent like one kind of a guy versus the other.
Yeah, in terms of type, or well, like just in terms of cuteness, Billy Bob Thornton comes off like cuter, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't really describe Bruce Willis as cute, like ever.
Oh, cute! You just want to pinch those cheeks, and he punches you in the face.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably explain the plot of the movie.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Do you want to explain the plot?
Oh my gosh! Wait, there's a little snippet right there.
Oh yeah, the IMDb blurb is
It's one sentence.
Two bank robbers fall in love with a girl they've kidnapped, which
That's not a good representation of the movie.
I don't know.
Sort of. I mean,
the movie boils.
I guess.
Like you can boil this movie down a lot. I think. This movie is about, so there's two prisoners and they escape jail and then they go on a string of bank robberies, and then this girl runs them over and she just tags along for the ride for a little bit.
She falls in love with the first bank robber. She falls in love with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, and then she also falls in love with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
And then there's a love triangle.
Yeah, but it's weird because one half of the triangle is sort of, they represent two corners as just one corner, because the bank robbers are just they're
the same person. Not really.
They don't want that, but then like the movie just arrives at that conclusion.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they fake their own deaths.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so we should, like, the movie is kind of leading up the entire time to them, like...
To, like, a blowout.
Yeah, because you see them, we're seeing snippets of them sort of in their final moments.
Yeah.
It starts with the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I have to say, the way, like, the entire movie is, like, framed is really weird. Because it starts at the end, where they're in the bank.
Yeah.
But then it's like also told through the lens of like the crime show
interviewer guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's not just because like it's like a flashback is happening during the bank scene, except it's also like the movie is just the interview, like what happened during the interview.
It's weird because it also, from the snippets that we see during the interview, sort of, but there's also like things that we see as the audience that definitely like weren't in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, especially all the stuff that Kate comes up, because we see that they hide Kate in the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It is. I agree with that. It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, like, once it all wraps up, the interview makes sense. But like as you're going along, I think the parts with the interview are just sort of there. They're kind of there for comic relief a lot of the time, which is bad. This movie is. I want to say this movie is like very cheesy, and it very much leans into that, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It feels, for me, it felt like way too, like it took it.
You got this.
It felt like I got it. It felt like it took itself too seriously. Personally, like a lot of the humor came off like awkward, but just in the way it was like composed. Like I guess for example, at the beginning when they're driving the cement truck across the lawns, there's just like a shot of like a woman like watching them drive along, and that that felt like it would be like a joke in like a Spider-Man film or something. But it just kind of like the way it was edited felt really awkward to me. I feel like that's a lot of the humor in the movie. It's kind of awkward.
That's fair.
Did you laugh at all?
I laughed a bit. There's some. I mean,
Out of your nose.
what?
Did you breathe a little hard out of your nose, like ha ha ha? But like,
I did like laugh out loud at some points. Specifically, Kate, when she first shows up, she is
manic.
Yes, she is very not in a good mental state.
Mm-hmm.
I think that scene is probably like my favorite in the movie, just because of how ridiculous it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I wish they went a bit more like silly, I guess, with it.
Okay.
Especially in terms of like just the editing and how everything's presented.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this was like an Edgar Wright film or something, this could be like really funny.
Yeah. I was gonna say my favorite scene is easily the dinner scene for their first bank robbery, where they're sitting there and they're like eating pop.
Oh yeah, that's also really good.
It's so funny.
And the mom's like crying.
Yeah.
He's like, is that some lemon in the sauce?
Yeah. Yes.
Saffron.
It's saffron, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I wish I agree with you. I wish that the movie had kind of. So in my opinion, the weakest part of the movie is the whole romance that kind of happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make it complicated with the love triangle. And I wish they had not focused as much on the romance and focused more on the comedy. And I think that would have made for a more like fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't said much. You want to say stuff?
No, I just like this movie. It makes me happy.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Any reason why it makes you happy?
I don't know. I think it's like, I feel like there's a lot of good elements in it. You know, it's a feel-good movie, but it's like not, it's definitely like cliche. There's definitely been movies that have been done like this, where like there's a huge blowout at the end and they like trick the public, and there's definitely like love triangle movies, but there's something about like, I don't know, there's like a tinge of like, I don't know, some like nostalgia in this movie, and like the cast is pretty good, I think. And I don't know, it's just like a good movie to watch, to like just like feel good. I don't know. And like I'm okay with that. And my dad and I watch it together, and I love my dad.
Okay.
All right, I'm a simpleton. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna show you a razor head one day.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. You mentioned the cast. The cast is pretty good. It's really it's Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Kate Blanchett, and they all do well. They're good actors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bruce Willis is still today incredible actor. You know,
Mm-hmm.
break it down for me.
Cast is like a third of you guys just laughing at each other.
Yeah, we just make inside each other.
That's
Reprisal, best movie of all time.
Good. Yeah. This movie is you want to talk? I don't know. There's like things to talk about, I guess. I don't really know like where to go. It is kind of basic. No offense.
not taken.
But like I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a fun movie.
Yeah, you guys watched like a heavy movie last week, right?
Yeah. But it's like very like. I mean, it was a pretty heavy movie. It was a very like avant-garde film, I guess, in a lot of ways. Not avant-garde.
Well, it's pretty heavy
Very-
in the symbolism and such. And
Yeah.
This movie is far more down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys rob bank.
But
Yeah.
do it is pretty wholesome, right? Like, we didn't talk about how, like, they don't hurt anyone in the process. Like, they even build up the reputation of people recognize them, and they're like, oh, you're the sleepover bandits. And then they're like, oh, you're not going to hurt anyone. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, who they are is, like, it's an interesting group of robbers, you know? Like, there's like charisma behind it. Like, they're good people, but they rob banks. And the reasoning behind it, I don't know if you guys caught it, was that, like, they were like, oh, it's federally insured. Like, we never steal a penny from people who've earned it. So I don't know. Interesting. Or not.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird. There's like things I feel that are set up in the movie that just don't pay off. Like Bruce Willis is like set up to have anger issues, and then it never really.
Yeah.
Like that never really happens. I mean, I guess they get into a fight.
But Billy Bob starts it.
Does he?
Yeah. Because Bruce lied to him about having a brother with a brain tumor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're right. There's like so many things that like they bring up that you're like, yeah, that's gonna come important later. It's like, no, not really.
Like,
it's kind of odd. You never really like you never see for trying to like be a romance movie. It just sets the romance up. And then, like, the movie kind of ends, I feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's kind of, like, I guess when the romance is set up, or when that character is even introduced is, like, 40 minutes into the movie.
I know.
So.
It's weird.
It's a lot of elements. It's a lot to juggle. They try to pack a lot in there.
Yeah. Romancing, comedy, and bank robbers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even talking about Harvey. Harvey's my favorite character.
Harvey, yeah.
Love him.
I love him too. He got his girl in the end.
He did. I was so happy for him.
Me too.
Yeah.
He was so awkward.
Dude, I love. There's the scene actually. The part where they drive up to the cabins and he's just on fire is pretty fun. Just like don't look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say?
Unless, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I feel pretty good.
You want to wrap up? You want to go first this time?
You know, it just seems like all my reasonings are a little shallow, which is just like, I just enjoy this movie. I thought you guys needed like a really fun movie to watch this week, and I was like, I really enjoy this one. I like the fact that it's like a slightly older movie, and it's got like a pretty nice cast, and just like you leave it and you're like, all right, like I was able to like lose myself for like 2 hours and just like focus on this movie, and like now I can go back to real life. So, you know, it's just a nice little distraction, fun movie to watch. Do I get to rate it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of my favorite movies, so I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go next. One thing, I'm just realizing this now. I forgot to bring it up. The amount of car theft that they do in this movie is incredible. Like, if you think about it.
And they never get caught.
Yeah, they steal, because they steal like 4 cars for every heist, and they go on, they say like 13 heists or something like that. They go on like a lot of heists. That's like, they're stealing more than 50 cars. Which, it's a lot of cars.
There are some plot holes.
Yeah, and they only take from the government. It's okay. Anyways. This movie, like, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. There's some bits that are a little bit messy, and maybe the pacing is a bit off. But like you said, if you just want to be like, yeah, for 2 hours, like, yeah, okay. It's not bad for that. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
All right. I get to be the sort of negative one, I
Oh,
guess.
he gets to be assigned.
Oh boy. I thought this movie was alright. It's just very inconsistent. I wish it took itself less seriously and was more like played into the like kind of cheesy or like comedic aspects of it like a lot more. I especially think if like the editing was like more in line again with an Edgar Wright film or something, I think could be really snappy and fun. There's definitely like a lot of scenes that I think are pretty funny and are fun, and like it's definitely fun. I just wasn't that big on it. I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Is there anything you want to say as we begin the end?
The beginning of the end.
Yeah, we're about to end the podcast.
Aw,
Maybe
We're gonna end the world.
the music, the movies. Now we're gonna end.
Aw, well, I loved being on the podcast. It was really fun. Thank you for having me, guys.
Anytime, kiddo. Okay, moving on.
Wow.
Okay.
Next week, it's also, you thought this week was an interesting show, just wait 7 days where we're gonna be reviewing the album Love and Hate by Michael Kiwanuka and the movie Sandcastle from director Fernando Coimbra. I think that's how you say that. Coimbra? I don't know.
Coimbra.
Yeah. It's got Henry Cavill in it, so that's exciting.
Wait, does it?
Yeah.
He's a hottie.
Oh shit, it does. Oh damn.
So it's a war movie. It has a bunch of hot men.
Ooh. Hot steamy men.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow.
Well, you want to close this out, Joey?
I want to close this out. I don't. Thanks for watching.
Okay.